So, David, who would you like to question next?
Bob, remind us of your allegation.
When we were at school together, we hid a dictaphone machine in the ceiling tiles to interrupt the lesson.
So not to record, but to play stuff?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff?
Well, it was important to keep a gap at the beginning, so we let it run for about 15 minutes. And then there was the noise of a fly. For a brief period, then another period, to confuse the teacher.
Where would you get the noise from the fly? You'd make the noise.
We'd make the noise ourselves,
let's
I'm not
hear
paying for
noise.
no fly to do it.
Let's hear your fly.
You know...
It does sound like a fly.
Can I hear your bee?
We didn't do a bee.
Do you know how to do a bee? Just like that fly.
Oh, no, it's more wholesome if it's a bee, isn't it?
Show me the difference, David.
Well, I don't know, I'm not... Well, I'd say, OK, a bee would be a sort of a foot...
No, that's a bumblebee.
A fly
Very good. That's good. Very good.
Right.
Do you see the way he just slipped straight in and out?
So yes, there was silence.
Yeah.
Then a little bit of fly, silence, a little bit of fly, and then, quite loudly, but not to frighten anyone, the word wolf. Then more silence. A bit more silence. Then Speedway Stadium.
Speedway Stadium.
Do you know, the idea was just to say kind of random things. He was a really nice teacher called Bill Whitlingham.
How did Bill Whitlingham react to these random sounds?
Well, Mr. Whitlingham left the room and said, "Can you sort this out by the time I've gone back? Can you sort whatever it is that's going on?" And there was a cupboard in the corner where, interesting, it had like exercise books in it, pens and that, but it also had, in a little cage, a hand lion, which is a robotic, it's a battery-operated thing.
What? Are you just saying any word that come into your head? In any order?
It's a hand lion, and if
A hand lion?
It's a robotic, animatronic hand lion, yeah? And if you'd been particularly good, he would put it on your hand and set it to lick it. If you'd been particularly...
Was this like a clockwork lion?
No, it was remote control.
It was remote control?
Remote control. He had the controller in his desk, and he said, you've
the
been
actual
such a good
hand lion...
boy, get out the hand lion, and you'll get a lick. And if you'd been bad, you put him on your hand and you strike. You'd strike at your hand.
So the hand lion had two settings. It could lick or it could strike.
Yes, good boy, bad boy.
Right, very
Good boy,
sensible.
bad boy. Now, the only problem with it, of course, was...
What, this story?
The only problem was, if the batteries got low, it would get constipated. No, anyway, but in this cupboard, so we got up on the cupboard.
You climb onto the cupboard that the hand lion is housed in.
Probably asleep.
Right, you reach up onto the ceiling tile.
Take out the dictaphone.
Switch it off.
Yep.
Mr. Whitlingham comes back in.
Yes.
What happens?
He's nervously awaiting another, edict from above. Doesn't come, we carry on with the lesson. British government and politics it was.
There was a lesson called British government and politics?
Yeah.
Whole year on that?
2 years, it was A-level.
For these sixth formers...
Yes.
A hand lion... that can either lick or strike was what was used to express praise or the opposite to these 17 or 18-year-old students.
And it was very effective.
All right. Would you like to move on to the final claim?
So, Lee, tell the story about Keith.
I was at a village fete, and...
Why were you at a village fete?
I was helping out.
What village?
Thames Ditton.
Why were you helping out at Thames Ditton Fete?
Because I don't live too far away from there, and they asked me to help out, and I did a few little things, like I did a bit of tombola, a bit of announcing. Then I went over to judge the pig racing. The usual things you do at a fete, you know.
The pig racing?
Yeah. I don't know why I judged it, because surely first past the post, but... When I was doing case of a dead heat.
And what happened with the hawk and Keith and the wig?
One of the things I had to do was to volunteer to stand there and learn. He had the little headpiece on where he'd teach the crowd basic falconry, I believe we called it. I'd stick the glove on and then hold this little thing. I don't know what it was, but I'm doing this.
A small morsel of meat.
Thank God you've been to one, because I haven't. I'm holding a small morsel of meat. Then what happens? And
then the swan comes down.
The swan came down. So the hawk comes over, right? It comes over. There's a person missing from this story, and it's the mayor, right? The local mayor. I can't say it in I always struggle.
Mayor.
The mayor. The mayor, right?
So
the mayor
you're
of
standing next to a horse.
Yeah, so the local... So the mayor is doing his bit, but the mayor has got a wig on, right? The hawk flies over to go and land on my hand, but he lands on the mayor's head, and so he gets caught up in his what should we call them? Talons. He gets caught up in the talons, and then in the sort of panic, the bird sort of... And he can't release this wig, and he flies off, and he goes into the tree. I said, why didn't he go for the meat? And he said, I genuinely think the gold chain caught his eye, there was a bit of confusion for a second, and he just did a bit of an emergency landing on a mare's wig at Thamesden Fate. What's there not to believe?
At that point, did you cry, oh no, the mare's hers over there?
All right, so David's team is Keith, Bob's classroom prankster, David's blanked buddy, or Lee's hawk handler.
I was believing Bob until the fact that he was 18 and the hand lion. I'm leaning towards David.
I think I'm leaning towards David.
I think it's Bob, and I think he panicked because he knew we were onto him, so he went on a ridiculous riff about a hand lion to throw us off the scent. I'll go Bob, but I've been wrong before.
Tara?
I'm going to go David.
We'll go David.
You're saying David. Keith, please reveal your true identity.
My name's Keith, and Bob and I recorded voices and hid the dictaphone in the ceiling.
Yes. Keith is Bob's classroom prankster.
I would never have believed all that stuff about a hand line was completely true.
Thanks very much, Keith.
Thank you.
Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Live. We'll start with... It's Sarah Millican.
Possession.
There's a box under your desk. Would you pop it on the desk? And then, first of all, read out the card that's inside before you show us what the possession is.
This is my cat cam. I put it around my cat's neck for a week to film what it got up to because I believed it was him who kept turning the kitchen tap on.
OK, let's take this item out and pop it on the desk. Right, Lee's team, cat cam.
So you're saying that you thought the cat might be turning the tap on?
Yes.
We know it wasn't John. So you put the cat cam on the cat for how long?
For, well, generally like an hour at a time, but while I was out.
So the cat's clever enough not to be turning this tap on when you're in?
Well, yeah, because I would just see him doing it, and then I would know it was him.
If he could do the tap, were you not worried that he could turn the camera off?
No, because the tap's like one of those ones where that's quite fiddly.
And how do you see the picture? You connect it to a computer?
Yeah, it's
Is there
just
a
got
USB
a USB
on there?
thing, yeah.
Oh, I see, OK.
You attach it to the computer, and how long are you watching? An hour at a time?
Well, you fast forward it. I'm not sitting
Just the
watching...
highlights. You're doing the highlights.
Yeah.
Go on, the big question is...
Was it the cat?
Not so far, but it's still
Somebody's
sort of
turning the taps on when you go out of the house.
It's kind of a work in progress. So
When you come
I
back...
hope he's not watching, because then...
Don't worry, turn this off. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why didn't you attach the camera to the tap?
Oh. Thank you.
What's the name of your cat, Sarah?
It's called Chief Brody.
And the personality, is he a scratcher?
He is a scratcher.
On bits of furniture?
Arms.
Yeah. Well, that's not so much of a worry. It's the furniture is more the thing, isn't it?
Is it?
Thanks.
Can I ask why you're so worried about the cat turning the taps on when you've got something in your house that's attacking you? I wouldn't mind if
But
it
he's
turned the
still
tap on
lovely.
if it's scratching my face.
Well, that's because you're not a cat lover.
No, but I don't like things that scratch.
Well, don't get a cat then.
Am I the weirdo here?
Yeah.
show of hands, yes.
That's so lovely to hear, because usually it's me.
What colour is your cat, Sarah?
Ginger.
Pink collar, ginger cat. Would you?
It's red. It's not
Would
pink.
you? Pink.
It's red.
Oh, please, it's pink.
It's red. Shut your face.
Red and ginger, devil's finger. That's what they say.
Wouldn't they say...
Who says that?
No one says that.
They do.
Is that what your mum used
And
to
they're
say?
still saying it.
So what do you think, Lee? Is she telling the truth?
What do we think, Bob?
I'm saying it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. David's saying it's
Possibly true.
well. I'll lie.
OK, you're saying lie. Sarah, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Sarah didn't put a cat cam on her cat. Next. It's David Harewood.
I can balance a banknote on my nose.
When did you first find this out?
When I was about 13.
Is it flat, or is it sort of like that?
It's
Kind
on its kind of on its
On its edge?
yes, and I would balance it on like that.
What, straight
like
up?
that?
Yes. Yeah.
On your nose?
Kind of like that.
So that the end of
Yes.
the note
Yes.
is along your nose there,
Yeah.
going upwards.
Yes.
And what's your technique for... Because I imagine the problem with that is that the note would immediately fall off.
I
What's your
have to kind
technique
of-
for preventing that?
Zen.
Zen.
Is that a type of glue? What do you think, David? Does this have the ring of truth for you?
I don't think it does. I think it's an odd mixture of something that would be impossible and not that impressive anyway.
So what do you think?
we think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie.
Lie.
Three
I
of
think
you, all
it's a
three of
lie.
you think it's a
Yeah.
lie. OK. David Harewood. Truth or lie?
It is true.
Whoa!
Yes, it's true.
You pulled that out at just the right time for us. Cheers, mate.
I have to stand up for this.
All right, please do.
Here we go.
Take your time, milk it. Very impressive. Yes, it's true. Oh, and that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. And I can tell you that Lee's team have triumphed by 3 points to 2. But of course, it's not just a team game. And my individual liar of the week this week is Bob Mortimer. Yes, Bob Mortimer. If you were looking for an effortless liar, then Bob's your uncle. At least he says he's your uncle. He's probably lying about that too. Good night.